The Fans Forum with Pranav Prasana. Talk 100.3.
Producer Pranav Prasana has actually been working really hard today, Neil. Our producer getting guests coming in and out.
He's trying to work hard so that, he can get his well-deserved break. Isn't he trying to take the day off on the 9th?
I think so.
Yeah.
Probably.
No, are you guys trying to keep me out of the studio on the 9th of December? What's happening, guys?
I don't really know.
Well, it's a day where there is a World Cup match which is scheduled. Of course, today and tomorrow being no footballing action. So I might be heading out for those games. I might be even going to Qatar. You never know.
You never know what might be happening. When it comes down to the fans, how are they reacting to those results in the World Cup overnight? The domination of Portugal and then a close penalty shootout.
A close penalty shootout, but heart and grit from Morocco, isn't it? That's been the story of their World Cup campaign as well. For 120 minutes for Spain not to score a goal. Wow, it really makes you think what that first match was all about. In fact, getting in the mix of all the social media conversation is Costa Rica. And how? I'll tell you that. Because Costa Rica might have just played the biggest prank of a World Cup competition, because they made Spain look so good that people actually started thinking Spain might be lifting the trophy. With that 7-1 victory, Costa Rica, they played, I think, the biggest shock. And then Spain goes on to lose against Japan. They draw against Germany, and they can't find a goal for 120 minutes against a Moroccan side that had not more than heart and passion. So it really makes you think.
The other big story about that game is obviously the benching of Cristiano Ronaldo.
That was the Portugal game.
The Portugal game afterwards. Where does he go from here? Will he make his back into the starting lineup? I find it hard to believe, given his replacement got a hat-trick. And what also does this mean for his club future, given he can't even get a start for Portugal?
Well, there's a couple of crazy and wild stats, and we have to start off with the Morocco football team, right? They are the fourth country in Africa to move on to the knockout stages since Cameroon, Senegal, and Ghana.
Right.
Talking about the teams that have been knocked out, right? Germany, Spain, and Italy. Having made the finals, they've never gone on to win in knockout stages ever since they made the finals. That's what blows our mind from the games that happened last night. Compared to Cristiano Ronaldo now, him having made to sit on the bench, I don't think it comes as a surprise for a lot of us. We know the coach Fernando Santos, he made his voice clear, he made his thoughts clear when he said he didn't like the attitude of Ronaldo when he was subbed off in the game against Korea. I think the manager would be thinking, let's save his legs. We have a much more important match coming up. I don't think it's just about the match. I think it's also got to do with the attitude on the training ground as well as the dressing room. But we're hearing probably 30% of the story. When he did come onto the pitch, he did receive the captain's armband. Now, that's a significant sort of a display from the manager. And he was pretty clear that, Ronaldo does have a future. So I think he will feature in some of the big games. Morocco, the attitude and the spirit they've shown, I don't think Portugal will be taking any risks in benching Ronaldo.
Really?
But then again, what does the performances for Ronaldo say about him? He's got only one goal in all the performances. You have the likes of Bruno Fernandes, you have seen the likes of Bernardo Silva. They've been shining in the World Cup. Rafael Leao, he came on for about 6 minutes, I think, in the game last night, and he got himself a fantastic goal. The person who benched Ronaldo, Goncalo Ramos, he's 21 years of age, and he plays for a Portuguese club called Benfica. He got an absolute stunner of a hat-trick, and the goal that he scored, the opener, it's already being considered as one of the goals of the tournament. So if you have to replace someone, you've got to come up with a performance like that.
No, I completely agree with you. And I personally feel like you said that, they wouldn't want to take their chances against Portugal. I think they would still rest him out, for at least the first half. Bring him in the second. And I think by that time, Portugal would have shown their dominance against Morocco. Morocco, while against Spain, played a very good game. These kind of surprises cannot be repeated every time. And against Portugal, who was running high on confidence, I personally feel that, Portugal might just have enough. As far as Ronaldo is concerned, I think the love has, that has probably been sidelined. He might just be, brought in he wouldn't be in the starting 11, I think.
We've spoken about this, that some coaches will bench certain players to really fire them up, but I think Cristiano Ronaldo is not at that point in his career.
No, I don't think so he is. I mean, he again, yesterday also, if you saw, he came in, did all he could. after the win, he went straight into the tunnel. He wasn't standing there and celebrating with the side. That also is not a good sign. I mean, for his own sake, he should have probably just celebrated for a bit, shown to the media, because the world is talking about this now.
No, but as soon as you dropped Ronaldo, you saw how fluid the Portuguese team was. They wanted to play the game almost hand in hand with what the coach had in his tactics. When you have Ronaldo, the pressure is on some of the youngsters to think, right, we have to get that cross in for Ronaldo, or we have to make that extra through ball, thinking Ronaldo can have a stretch or have a go at it. And you saw that in the coach as well. He was indicating to, I think it was Diogo Dalot on the touchline, saying, get a throw in to Ronaldo. Again, Diogo Dalot, being one of those performers who benched a Manchester City superstar, and he gave 11 out of 10 performance. This Portugal team is on absolute fire right now. Should they come up against an England or a France in the semis, well, I think I know which team I'm favouring.
Well, I'm just looking forward to seeing England lose to France. That's all I can think about.
Look, I think England really will be worried about one player, that's Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah.
And there's going to be someone else who comes out of the syllabus and probably threatens them. Kylian Mbappe, in the likes of a Kyle Walker playing as a right back, I don't know how much damage he'll do. Walker does have the pace, but he doesn't have the strength to hold back Kylian Mbappe. We also saw Olivier Giroud. He went on to break the record and become France's #1 goal scorer in international matches. You also have the likes of Theo Hernandez, one of the best defenders right now when it comes to wingbacks, and the goalkeeper as well, Hugo Lloris. He's in the form of his life. So England has to come up with something really special. If you look at their records against top teams in the World Cup, they've beaten let's say a top 6 team, for example, if you hypothetically put Germany, Spain, Italy, France and Brazil of those likes. They've beaten a top team only once in knockout stages, and I think they went on to win the title that year, back in the 60s, I think. So for them, the stacks are all against them. So the young generation of players, Bukayo Saka, Marcus Rashford, Jude Bellingham, he's from Birmingham, and what an attitude he's shown up with. So these guys have to take the pressure and come up with something special.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. When it comes down to those the other news, I know your thoughts on David Warner.
100%.
He should be captain.
He should be captain of T20 cricket at least. I'd go a step ahead and say make him ODI captain, but I guess Cricket Australia has already thought Pat Cummins. Why not? I don't see a captaincy material in Pat Cummins. I just don't think he's that vocal leader in the dressing room. Not someone who pumps you up.
About 30 years ago, there was a famous story that they wanted to make Shane Warne captain, and the board then of Cricket Australia said no. And they were like, why? And they said he doesn't have a very good brand image when it comes to our sponsors.
Right.
And then Alan Border was either the captain or one of the selectors said, who gives anything what those newspapers in the UK are printing about someone who's going to be the best captain of the side?
And there you go.
And Cricket Australia went, no, sorry, we can't. So they made Ricky Ponting the captain.
I
mean,
agree
hardly a bad choice.
Yeah.
But it's a similar situation now. Pat Cummins has just got the brand. He's known as the good-looking, nice guy.
The good boy
he's
image,
great he's great in the ads. And David Warner hasn't got such a squeaky clean image.
Yeah, I mean, see, I'll tell you, I'll give you a classic example coming straight from Bollywood. Salman Khan, for the longest time, and he's a massive superstar.
Yeah.
Okay, for the longest time, he was a brand ambassador of a product called Thumbs Up, the cola that we
the
made.
ginger cola.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, when I had that, all my Daisy friends back home went, "You're more Daisy than me." So continue. Yeah.
So Salman Khan was a brand ambassador of Thumbs Up for the longest time. Okay, given his macho image and everything, went right with Thumbs Up. There was a case that was filed against Salman Khan of a while.
I think there was multiple.
So this was the case that actually turned things against him.
Right.
So there was a case against Salman Khan where it was where he had gone into the jungle and killed a deer. That case went so bad against him that Pepsi dropped him like a hot potato and signed up Akshay Kumar. Why? Because of the clean image. Nothing else but that. You know, Salman Khan still is loved by millions, is still, raking in millions in sponsorship money. But Thumbs Up didn't sign him up. It dropped him as a brand ambassador. Signed him up after he was cleared from that case.
Yeah, right.
Right. So this is something which is absolutely corporate. There's no personal feelings or emotions in that.
But then you said Salman Khan was cleared, right?
Yep.
In whatever scenario, in whichever parallel universe, that's a possibility. But Pat Cummins here, he's a great guy and he bowls really well. He's disciplined. He's a great athlete by all means, and he's a good example. David Warner, on the other hand, he equally paid the price for what he had done, right? And in fact, it was a price that was given to him by the Australian politicians that got involved and Cricket Australia. The ICC said, right, you've got a couple of matches banned and you can come back. The harsh sort of punishment was given by Cricket Australia, and right now, given the usage of words, if you go by the statements that David Warner put out, I think there's something really against him. I just don't think Cricket Australia want him.
Well, it's 5 years ago. It's a different administration that's running Cricket Australia, but it seems to be just the same ethos.
Yeah.
You know, when Justin Langer said that there are, what was the word did he
Cowards.
that he used? Cowards.
He was talking about players.
Yeah, I think he's talking about players, and there are specific names that we can all assume who they could be. And I think he didn't get much into the administration part, but if he did, I'm sure he'd have a lot of names to spill.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I think it's only the start of this story. Pranav, thanks again with another edition of